Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's your boy T-Man representing Turn 1 Gaming, and today we got a deck profile for you guys. It's my Stun Eldlich deck profile, or my Eldlich Stun deck profile, whichever way you want to call it. That's the deck profile we're doing today, guys. So today we got a 40 card main deck and a 15 card extra deck. You could play 43. I'm debating on it. I will get into that part later in the video when we're done with the main deck. Just some testing I haven't completed yet, but definitely on the back of my head. Right, so starting things off, we're gonna go ahead and we're starting with 3 Eldlich the Golden Lord. And I know already you probably lost interest and you don't want to care about this deck profile. You think this is completely wrong. I am new to the deck, so I do not know how to take care of my resources just yet. So playing 3, it comes up for me. If you know how to play the deck already, you've already been playing with Eldlich and you can manage your resources correctly, I would recommend playing 2. Also, it makes it an easy side out. So moving on, we also played 3 Inspector Border, and I know you might as well play Mystic Mind, right? It's definitely an anti-meta type variant, and I'm enjoying this deck quite a bit at the moment. So playing 3 Border, and that's it. That's all the monsters, man. It's kind of hard to explain that card, but it's all right. We're gonna move on to the spells. We only play, I think we play 8 spells. That's it. We played 3 Cursed Eldland. You search either any of your Golden Land spell traps, or you search your Golden One. Now, when this card is sent from the spell trap card zone to the graveyard, not necessarily face up, it could be face down. You can send either a Eldlich monster to the grave, or a Golden Land spell trap to the grave as well from the deck, right? And then in the end phase, you get those effects to set, and it gives you your resources. This can start your engine for you if you need to. And then you play some draw power, which is 3 Pot of Extravagance. I play Pot of Extravagance because I do not have Pot of Prosperity. If you have Pot of Prosperity, I would recommend playing Pot of Prosperity over the Extravagance, because although we don't go into the extra deck very often, the extra deck is very crucial at sometimes. Does that make sense? And then we play 2 Pot of Duality, because most of the time we're not really special summoning unless it's like on your opponent's turn, but you can't activate this on your opponent's turn, because when you activate this card, you cannot special summon the turn that you activated this card. But either way, you can do this off of Prosperity. I mean, you can do this after Prosperity and after Extravagance, because it escavates. It does not draw. It escavates the top 3, and then you add 1 to the hand. Right, moving on from the spells, we're gonna go into the traps. Starting off with the engine traps, we play 3 Elixir Scarlet Sanguine. This gives you your Golden Lord from the deck, and also gives you your Golden Lord from the graveyard. It can be Ash and it can be Ghost spelled, which is unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is. They're not gonna have Ash for you every time. You're gonna be able to get back to this easily, because all your Golden Land spells and traps, they can set this from the deck in the end phase. Also, you can banish this card from the graveyard and set a Golden Land spell trap directly from the deck to your side of the field, which cannot be Ashed. But the only thing is, you can only use one effect or the other. So if you activate this card physically to summon, you cannot use a graveyard effect to banish to set, at least not that turn. Okay. Then moving on to the Golden Land, you play 3 Conquistador. I feel like this is very standard. This one summons itself, and if you control Eldlich on the field, it'll destroy a face-up card on the field. In the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish it, a Eldlich spell trap. So usually you set the Sanguine. I don't play the spells. You can play the spells if you want, and then you play 2 Jacueros. I'm debating on playing a 3rd one, but 2 for now is fine. This one will summon itself as a monster, and if you control Golden Lord on the field, it'll banish a card in either graveyard. It doesn't matter which card, and it does not target. So this card is very good. The DD Crow is not that bad. Alright, so moving on to some more generic traps. Playing 3 Torrential Tribute. This card is very good. I wanted to cut it, but being able to wipe your opponent's board, and it's not once per turn, is very strong. But more power traps are 3 Dogmatic Punishment. This card makes your extra deck very flexible. You can play a lot of different cards, especially if you're playing Prosperity. If you're playing Prosperity, your extra deck becomes so much more flexible, because it actually gives you 15 slots that you can just play 1-ofs of everything. There are certain cards that I'll play 2-ofs because I play Extravagance. And then you play 2 Paleozoic Dynamiscus. I was playing 3, but I decided to cut 2 of them because I decided to play 2 Trap Trick. Right, so the Dynamiscus, it targets a card on the field, and then on resolution you discard a card and you banish the target. This card does not discard for cost. Just remember that. So like I said, I am playing 2 Trap Trick. So I cut the 3rd Dino Miss for the 2nd Trap Trick, just to give me more flexibility on trap cards that I want to see. This is when you just banish any normal trap from your grave, not from your grave, from your deck, and then you set the same one from your deck. And then that trap card can be activated this turn, but for the remainder of the turn, you can only activate one trap card. So be careful with that. Usually you want to use it at the end or when you know your opponent has nothing else. Right, so those are your normal traps. We're going to go into some counter traps. Into the basic stuff first before I show you guys the spice. We play 3 Solemn Strike. Solemn Strike is very good going first, going second. At the cost of 1500 life points, you can negate a summon that doesn't start a chain. So like a Link summon, Xe summon, a Synchro summon, things like that. And then if your monster activates effect on the field, or not on the field, if it's just a monster just activates its effect, you pay 1500 life points to negate the activation and destroy that card. So it negates Ash, any hand traps, it negates any hand traps, negates any normal summon effects, any fusion effects, you know, things like that. This card is very good. And then for the last 3, this is the spice, the tech of the deck. Shout out to Nestor for showing me the card. The card is very good. We have Debunk. If you have a secret rare copies, let me know. I'm looking for those. So when a monster effect is activated in the hand or in the graveyard, you can, that means the requirement is to activate this. You can negate the activation and you banish that card. Debunk is the tech of the deck. If you do not want to play this, you can play Solemn Judgment. And then the last 2 cards of the deck are Imperial Order and Skill Drain. Like I said, I'm debating on playing is the Dragoon package. So the Dark Magician, the Red Eyes Black Dragon, and the Red Eyes Fusion, because it does come up and this deck does lack the ability to finish games. Does that make sense? Moving on to the extra deck, we play 2 M-Duck. If you don't have the M-Duck, you can just play Link Kuriboh. Either way, Link Kuriboh does have more attack, which is cool, but you use this just to get rid of your trap cards when they summon themselves as a monster, so you can get them in the grave and then use those effects in the end phase. If it's pointing to a card and it attacks the card that it's pointing to, it'll destroy that card. Right, we play the 1 Tri-Brigade Baron Blossom. This card, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can draw a card and then put a card on the bottom. So it gives you a little extra draw power, like you need to draw something with punishment. It is only 1600 attack, so it doesn't come up as often, but it does come up against certain decks like Prank Kids. It does come up against Tri-Brigade, you know, things like that. You'll be able to draw and put back. Right, and then you play 1 Nightmare Phoenix. This card is just generic, right? And then moving on to the fusions, we play 3 Elder Entity Entes. Even if you're not playing Extravagance, I do recommend playing 3, just because you want at least 2 in the extra deck for your punishment. Being able to pop 2 cards is very strong. When this card is sent to the graveyard, you target 1 card on the field and you destroy it. So, and also it's 2500 attack. So there's a lot of monsters that people will normal summon or summon from the extra deck that are less than 2500 attack. So you can be able to get 2 disruptions off of 1 card. The other 2 of that we play is the Last Warrior from Another Planet. This card go on turn 1, my bad, in game 1, you don't really care if you banish this card. It's mainly game 2 and 3 because we side in Waking the Dragon because neither player can summon while this card is on the field. Right, so moving on, we have some Xe monsters. It requires 2 level 5s, and it pretty much you detach 2 to negate a monster effect. If you don't want to play this, you can just play I think it's Pleiades, which is also another rank 5, which is just, it's a bounce. Alright, and then the other 2 of that we play is Gustav Max. Now just be careful that you didn't activate Sanguine that turn because you're locked into zombies. Something that I have done. Even on stream I did it, and ultimately it cost me the game. Even though it wasn't a legal play, we continued. It is what it is, right? But this card, it can come up to go for game, and then if there's cards that are very hard to beat over, you can just overlay into Super Dreadnought Lead, which becomes 6000 attack when he uses effect, and he can attack. Make attack all monsters equal to the number of Xyz material he has plus 1. Right, so if he has this and this, you can attack twice. I believe it's twice. Right, so you can attack twice. Yeah. And then the last 2 cards in the extra deck, I don't have the cards in the main deck just yet, but it is the Dragoon package, which is the Verte and the Dragoon itself. If you decide not to play the Dragoon, you can just play Pegasus, the Wind Pegasus, the Synchro, and also Omega. Those are the 2 cards that I would recommend playing. Alright guys, so that's it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you guys think about the deck. If there are any changes you would make, let me know. Definitely let me know in the comment section below. Right now, I'm having so much fun with this deck. This is the way Yu-Gi-Oh was designed to be played. No. But either way, guys, that's gonna be it for the deck profile. Make sure you leave a like, comment down below, hit the subscribe button. You don't want to miss any more of my content. Peace.